What's going on, everybody? Just wanted to make a video about risk management, which a bunch of people have been asking me to create. Now, I'm going to be breaking down in this video specifically risk management for prop firms. Now, it may be different for you if you were trading 1 account, 3 accounts, 5 accounts, 10 accounts, 20 accounts, whatever the case may be. But this is the baseline that I like to base my trading after. And I usually am trading 5 accounts, maybe even a couple more. It all depends, but I'm looking to scale, but I'm still going to stick to these kind of, parameters, except I might, spread out my risk a little bit more. So let's jump right into it. This is going to be tailored specifically to people trading prop firms, because that is what a lot of people are now trading these days. And if you are trading a live account or you are trading options, your risk management system is going to be completely different than this. So please understand that risk management isn't the same for all asset classes and depends also on your trading style. Now, if you have a high win rate, low risk to reward trading system like I do, this is how I like to trade it. If you have a higher risk to reward system but a lower win rate, then this risk management strategy probably isn't for you. So you could still probably learn something from this. So just stick to this video and hear out what I have to say, because you're going to get some free sauce. Now, what I like to do is I like to spread out my risk across my prop firm accounts and give myself about 4 trades with my drawdown that I would have to lose in a row in order to blow my accounts. Now, some of you might be saying this is, too much or too little, but I'm talking about when we are past the eval stage. Right? Actually, let me go over the eval real quick. So when you're on evals, if you know how to trade and you have a system and you know what you were doing, you don't care about the money, I am risking however much I need to risk in order to make 50% of my, profit target. So for Top Step, let's say 50Ks, your profit target's 3,000. You have to make 1,500 per day. So I'm risking whatever it is, usually around a 1-to-1. If it's a little worse than 1-to-1, I'll still do that. So if I need to risk the full 2,000 drawdown to make 1,500, I'm completely okay with that. Why? Because, the setup you're taking is probably going to play out if you're taking a good trade with a little less than a 1-to-1, or if you're taking a 1-to-1, that is completely okay. So I'm trying to get 2 trades in a row. That's all it is. Trying to hit 2 trades one day after the other, get 1-to-1 or a little less, risking the full drawdown in order to pass those accounts. Now, once we pass those accounts and we are on our XFAs, this is exactly what I do. So what I like to do is risk, like I said, 25% of the drawdown. So if you were on a 50K Top Step account, your drawdown is 2K, right? So now what I like to do with this 2K is I want to divide this by 4. So I have 4 trades in a row that I would have to lose in order to blow this account. So what is this? What am I risking per trade? I am risking $500 per trade. This is what my risk is for a little bit of time. And as my balance increases, I'm going to, up my risk eventually. But what our goal is on this is to get our first payout. Now, if you have 5 winning days of, 500 or a little more than 500, you're copy trading 5 accounts. Your account, let's say you get your account balance to around 3,000, right? And then you have 5 accounts, so you are eligible to withdraw 1,500 across your 5 accounts. This is on Top Step, so this is what I am breaking down. So if I'm doing the math correctly, this should be about 70. This should be 7,500. Yes. So now your first payout is $7,500. Now at this point, you have already made the ROI back on your account. So at this point in time, we now have $1,500 worth of drawdown, and you are going to stick with the same risk. You could stick with the 500 risk, or you could go back and, do 1,500 now. If that's what that's what you're left with 50%, and you divide that by 4. So now if this is the case, 1,500 divided by 4 gives you 375 drawdown. Me personally, I'm going to, stick at my 500 risk. Once I get my first payout, because I already have the ROI on the accounts. Now let's say we are sticking at 500, right? Now for every, I would say $1,000, every time you make an extra $1,000 is when you should up your risk, right? So let's say you get your account balance up to, after you take your first payout, of course. Let's say you get your account balance up to 3,000. So now instead of risking that 500 still after your first payout, I am upping my risk to whatever 1/4 of 3,000 is. So now you're risking $750 per trade, right? So this is when you're going to start, kind of stacking wins on the account and being able to see those 4-figure days per account. Because if you're doing a little more than 1-to-1, you're going to be hitting those trades that are you're going to hit some trades that are a little less and some trades that are a little more, or just about, 4 figures, $1,000 across your 5 accounts. And this is really how you start stacking base hits, and you're going to start accumulating a lot of profits over time. Now, let's say we get the account balance up. This is after you take the first payout still, and we are still building the account balance up. Now, let's say your account balance is at 4,000. How much are we going to risk if we still want to use the 1/4? We are now risking 1,000 per trade, right? Now, some of you might say this is a little aggressive, but you already have the ROI in the account. If you have a good system, this is when you're really going to start stacking money, right? This is when you're going to start hitting 5-figure days, 4-figure days super consistently. You're going to be almost getting to, 5-figure days if you are on the higher side of, taking 1-to-1s, 1-to-1.5 or anything like that. You're going to be very close to getting there. Okay. Now let's say you get a payout now with these accounts. Let's say you get up to, you could withdraw 2,500 per account, right? Let's say that. You get your account balance up to 5,000. You're able to withdraw $2,500 per account. You now are able to request $5,000 balance. Gets you a $12,500 payout. Now, this is all possible in 1 month, right? We had the 7,500 from the first. If you get your account balance up to, I believe I said 3,000. Yes, 3,000. And then you get to 12,500 if you get your account balance up to 5K, which you should be able to do if you're scaling your risk. Now, at this point in time, you just requested $20,000 between those two payouts, and that's only 10 trading. That's 10 green days, which is very achievable within a month. So now let's go over if you get to 2 payouts, what I like to do and how you could really start stacking. So let's say, you take your 2 payouts now. You have locked in 2 payouts. Now what I like to do is I want to take our account balance and I want to move the risk into 1/3 of the total profits, right? So let's say my account balance is 6,000, right? Right? We want to be risking $2,000 per trade. Why? Because now you would need to lose 3 trades in a row in order to blow this account that you already made around $20,000 on, which you already made. I'm trying to calculate on 50K accounts. You already made 20x ROI. Like, that's great. That's phenomenal. I believe. Yeah, it's 1,000 all in. Yeah, so 20x ROI, right? So if you're risking $2,000 per trade and you're even just going for 1-to-1s, you're copy trading, across 5 accounts, you're going to be hitting 10K days, right? And then at this point, you don't really need to start sizing as aggressively, but just stick to the, the third of risk per trade. So let's say you hit this. Now your account balance is now at 8,000, right? We hit a 2K 1-to-1. Now you're at 8,000 BAL, right? We're at 8,000 BAL. Now what are we risking? I believe it should be 2,500. Or no, it's 2,666. It's a weird number. But let's say you just do 2,500, right? Now you're risking this. All you have to do, is just hit one trade on this, and you just made almost $3,000 across 5 accounts. If you lose, you have 2 more chances. Let's say you lose your first trade, right? You're minus. Let's just do easier numbers. Let's say you lose your first trade. You're minus 2,500 from 8,000. So now your account balance is at 5,500. So you're 5,500 BAL. Let's say then you win the next trade plus 2,500. Now you're back at 8,000, right? Now, if you're back at 8,000, let's say you hit the next trade for 2,500. You risk your 2,500 again. You hit about a 1-to-1. Now you're at 10,500. Now, with that 10,500, you basically can request the max payout with Top Step per session. So let's say you get your 5 winning days in. You're at 10,500 balance across 5 accounts. You are now able to request the max payout, which is you can request 50%. So you're able to request 5,000 per account, which is a $25,000 payout. I mean, let's say you, like I said, at this time, with everything we just broke down, after your 2 payouts before and then this $25,000 payout, you are now at 45K worth of payouts off this one set of accounts. Now, if you ask me, that's pretty good. You've basically 45x your money, and $45,000 is a lot of money, whether this takes you a month, month and a half, 2 months to get done. I mean, this is the route that I would go. And this is basically the best way to manage your risk with these prop firms, if you ask me. It is very simple. Stick to 1/4. Then as you keep making money after your first payout, you're going to stick to that 1/3 rule if you want to play aggressive. But you don't even have to do that. You could stick to the 1/4 if you don't feel comfortable with your win rate being that high, or you have a different system than me. But in my opinion, this is the best way to go about it. And once you are copy trading, even let's say 10 accounts, 15 accounts now, your payouts are going to be getting almost to, 6 figures at the third payout based on the rate that I just broke down. But that's basically it. Shout out to AG Trades because he kind of broke this down and made it very much easier to kind of understand and explain as well. He has talked to me about his risk management strategy, which I did incorporate a couple months ago, and I truly believe this is the best way to go about it for someone that has a win rate that is similar to mine and has a lower risk reward system. Now, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you have any other video suggestions, please drop a comment. Let me know what you want me to create. If you enjoyed this video, please drop a like and show some love. And I will see you guys in the next one. Peace out.